Hello and welcome to another Amonkhet Draft League. This is Old Man Pool. We have opened up a reasonable pack, if not an exciting one. I think Edifice of Authority is probably the pickup. It's great in pretty much every color. I think it's on, it might even be better than something like Exemplar Strength, although I like that card quite a bit as well. A lot of other reasonable cards here: Ave Initiate, Gale Strike, like the Entangler, like the Elite. Yeah, just a bunch of solid cards, but we're gonna take the Edifice because it's colorless and it keeps us open. Alright, here we have what? The Nefkrop Entangler, a Battlefield Scavenger, a Weaver of Currents, although that's devil colored, so it's a little less exciting. I think it's probably between one of those two red cards. Canyon Slough is perfectly playable. As a side note, I'm really excited for the deserts in our Devastation. I think cycling lands in general are just going to play excellently. But Nefkrop Entangler or Scavenger. I guess Scavenger's probably slightly better, although I think they are pretty close. Weaver, I think, is on comparable power level, but like I said, it's two colors, so let's pick this up. Now, I haven't had as much luck with red, just super aggressive beatdown decks in the last couple of leagues. I feel like a lot of people are playing kind of a green-black, sort of grindy mid-range deck, and I do think that deck has a pretty good matchup against us. Okay, Commit to Memory is powerful, but kind of clunky, very slow. I guess Compulsory Rest is probably the pickup here. That card is perfectly fine, if not crazy exciting. I do think, we're only third pick. I'd say there's maybe a little bit of a signal, but probably not. We lost a common and uncommon over it. Yeah. Anyway, I think Compulsory Rest is the pick here. Commit to Memory is kind of sweet, but not that sweet. And nothing else here is competitive. There's another Rest, so we could just pick up another one of those, and that's pretty okay. Evolving Wilds is also playable. I mean, this is a strictly worse pacifism, but a strictly worse pacifism still a pretty good card. Alright. So we're a little bit heavy on our non-creatures now. We're definitely not necessarily playing red for the Scavenger. Edifice and the Compulsory Rests actually sort of put us in the direction of a slower, more controlling deck. Although white decks also generally tend not to be all that aggressive. Or sorry, tend to be pretty aggressive, so. Alright, here we have New Perspectives, which I think is pretty unexciting. Grimstrider, Minotaur Sure Shot. I think we just take the Sure Shot here. I think that is perfectly fine, even though it's not the nut. Seems like green's getting cut pretty hard. Yeah, I think we take the Scavenger here and are not super unhappy about that. Not a premier pickup, but not a bad one either. There's a Wayward Servant, and a Censor, and a Vitalist. Vitalist is quite good. We could take the Wayward Servant and maybe end up in more of a zombies-themed deck. I do think this card is very, very powerful. Quite a bit better than a Hyena pack, which I think is pretty replaceable. Not opposed to playing a Limits of Solidarity either. I think I'm gonna take a little bit of an outside pick and pick up the Wayward Servant. I like zombies in the format quite a bit. It might seem a little bit odd right now since we don't have any zombies, but I don't think we're passing tons. So I think that is a potential side benefit. Okay, Devoted Cropmate's fine. We're seeing a little bit more green now, so maybe those packs were just light on it. Yeah, I think we're sticking with white for sure. It seemed open. Getting a couple of Compulsory Rests in a row is a fairly good signal that it's going to be open come pack 3. And an Anointer Priest, Manticore of the Gauntlet. I guess Manticore probably better. I really don't like the Anointer Priest much. Manticore does do some reasonable work in the late game. A lot of black here. I guess Doomed Dissenter over like Miasmic Mummy. Oh wow, Weaver of Currents came around. It's pretty late. Do we want a Fling or a Supply Caravan here? I think probably a Fling. We're not seeing a ton of the really exciting red-white like Exert cards. We're just kind of getting the little bit more mediocre ones, medium. I think we're maybe a little bit too far into this deck to really change our mind. I think Fling is good. I think it's a good little bit of reach. I like playing one in the deck. If your opponent tries to kill something and you manage to fling it, it feels pretty good. Fermenting Voice is okay. Yeah. Not, like, crazy excited about how the draft is turning out at this point. I guess just take a DiGiorno's Resolve. That's a late Top Crop Skirmisher for sure, though. I think people avoid blue a little bit too heavily in this format. It does. I think it is probably the worst color, but I don't think it's the worst color by like a wide margin. So, and it feels like people avoid it like the plague sometimes. Okay, a lot of good cards in this pack, but nothing really for us. We could play an Approach to the Second Sun and just be like, hey, maybe we get there. It seems pretty loose. Play a Start to Finish and splash for the finish part. Although if we're doing that, I think we should just splash for Cartouche of Ambition, because that card is nuts. Man, it's a great pack if we're in black, or even a slower version of white. And maybe we still could be. You could play like Compulsory Rest, Edifice of Authority, and just kind of be slow getting up to Approach to the Second Sun. This is a legit win condition. I like it better when we have lots of cycling, though, and I'm not sure this deck is going to have that. I guess just Start to Finish? Ugh, it's not Phil. Very exciting. Yeah. Man, unfortunate. Unfortunate. Yeah, there's another one. We're taking that over like a True Heart Duelist. I think Start to Finish is probably okay. I guess we could also take a Thresher Lizard. The tokens are very good if we do end up going wide. Okay. So here we do get a Cartouche of Solidarity, which is a reasonably good beatdown card, although we're not showing tons and tons of great effects on the beat. I think I'm going to pick it up over a Thresher Lizard or the True Heart Duelist. I think we do need something that helps us punch through early. I think a lot of time we're low on that. We are low on creatures, but those kind of count. Yeah. I think the upside with the Cartouche is fairly high. Play Oketra's Monument, although two of our creature spells, quote unquote, aren't really creatures too. We can also just consider giving up the red. We could pick up Binding Mummy here over the Thresher Lizard, and maybe Wayward Servant ends up being a little bit better. That lets us cast the Start to Finish a little bit more consistently. I think I'm going to take Binding Mummy. Fanbear's pretty good. I also like Bloodrage Brawler a lot, but I think I'm going to take the Fanbear, and maybe we'll shift away from red. Red has just felt... This is actually... Bloodrage Brawler is pretty premier. But as far as red cards getting passed to us, it's not felt very open. Yeah, Stir the Sands this late's really, really good. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm prepared to shift away from red. So we had kind of a bummer first pack. We're not going to get to play a lot of the cards here, but black is looking pretty open. We'll just have to hope to pick up some cards as we move up the chain. We can either do a Miasmic Mummy, which I think is perfectly fine, or an Unwavering Initiate. I think we're going to do the Mummy. It's got a little bit more synergy. Initially, 2 drops are a little bit better than 3 drops. It's close, but I think the Mummy takes the day. Okay, Evolving Wilds maybe here? Not wild about the Vizier of Remedies. It is a 2-drop, that's kind of all that can be said for it. Wavering Initiate, Winged Shepherd. Maybe I can't afford to take an Evolving Wild speculatively though, because we still do need to pick up a lot of playables. I guess we should bring in the Wayward Servant, and the Doom Descender probably. That makes us look a little bit better. I think I'm going to take the Evolving Wilds. I like having 1 on the off chance we end up with a huge bomb that we want to splash for. Okay, getting that Stir the Sands made me feel a lot better. Catcher's Name is maybe end up being playable here. And I'm a sucker for the zombie deck. If you watch very many of my drafts, you are very aware of that. Okay, I'm not opposed to picking up a Mighty Leap. This is a little bit of reach, which I think that a lot of times my decks in this format have been lacking. Again, right now we're a little bit light on creatures, but 3 of these others count as creatures. Those 2 serves a good pickup. Okay, yeah, I don't think there's another zombie draft at the table. Man, could have had 2 really late Weaver of Currents, although we haven't seen much green, so Guess we shouldn't be sad about that. Floodwaters. Sure. That was a close pick, though. Okay, coming out of our first pack, we look okay. Not crazy. Yeah. Could play the sideboard cut to ribbons. This is a very, very powerful card. We do have an Evolving Wilds, we can splash for it, but maybe something like Start to Finish is just better, or Binding Mummy, both of which I think are pretty good for our deck. So is Talkrop Elite. I don't think it's crazy unlikely we wheel something out of this pack. This is really tempting, though. Ribbons is just such a great late game finisher, and Cut's pretty high power. I think I am going to take it here. I think it's enough better than Start to Finish. Although, yeah, I think I'm going to. That might be a little bit speculative, a little bit greedy, but... Okay, we have a Devoted Crotmate here, which I think is fine. We do have a good number of 2-drops we can bring back. Or a Festering Mummy, or a Sparring Mummy. Mummy synergies aside, the Devoted Crotmate is probably stronger. We do have a couple of things that care about mummies right now. Maybe something like Festering Mummy is just better, although we have a decent number of low drops. I think I'm gonna take the Crotmate. I think that's also a little bit of a close pick, though. Okay, we have Destined to Lead, which I don't love a ton without the green half. I'm not really sure it's worth splashing for. Catcher's Monument, again, still isn't at its best in our deck. I guess maybe like a Blighted Bat is the pickup. It is a zombie, it does some work. I don't think we need the Festering Mummy as much in this deck as we do in some. Okay. I guess like a Spearmaster, pretty okay. Not exciting, but pretty okay. Man, could have had 200 drop captains. Maybe I should have trusted that red would have been more open coming to pack 3, but hard to know. I think I'm going to take a Cradle of the Accursed over the Unwavering Initiate here. I'm really not high on this card, and I think we actually have a pretty good chance of curving out low here. We could just run 16 lands, I guess. A little bit rough with the Evolving Wilds. Maybe we should just take the Unwavering Initiate. Yeah, okay. A little bit of zombie synergy throws us over the edge. Not tons here for us, though. Maybe a Mighty Leap ends up being okay. We have how many things that punch through? A couple, 2 there, Fanbearer. Kind of trying to go wide probably a lot of the time in this deck, although we only have 1 No Catcher's Name. I guess we'll just take another Initiate. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a lot of 3-drops. I'm gonna take, we have a lot of combat tricks and the like too. Alright, Initiate. Welcome to the deck. Some good blue here. I think I'm gonna take the Irrigated Farmland and just use that as a cycling land. And maybe we play 17 with the knowledge that we cycle that away a lot of the time. Wow, nothing here. Lots of green. I don't even know. That one. And a late Emberhorn Minotaur. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe jumping out was a bad choice. I was pretty underwhelmed about our first pack, and so I saw a bunch of black in pack 2 and I was like, maybe now is the time to shift. But yeah, we're getting up low on playables. Sure, let's do it. Yeah, really low, unfortunately. This may have been a little bit of a tough draft to maneuver, though, because we're seeing a lot of green now, too, which is kind of late. I guess Impeccable Timing over Dune Beetle. That does get us up to 23 playables, which is a magic number. Yeah, I think I could have had a lot of red in the last pack, but hard to know that beforehand. And we did pick up some pretty big black payoffs. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to give this deck like maybe a 5 out of 10. This is not what you're hoping your final deck will look like, although you can do worse too. I don't really like playing Jorno's Resolve. I think we're just going to play all of our other sort of uninspiring cards here. Again, our creature count looks a little bit low, but we do have 3 token makers, which helps. Let's sort out though. Separately, These are kind of 3-drops. Yeah, we're a little bit light on 2s, it looks like, too. Yeah, I am not super excited about this deck, but I think it is what it is. I'm not going to play Journey's Resolve. Hope to get in early and then maybe finish people off with, like, you know, Catcher's Name late. This is a deck where I wouldn't mind having another one of those. Because going wide is really our game plan. But here we go, this is the deck. Let's add some lands. 5 black. We're not heavy on white. A lot of our creatures are white. I think we do want to be heavier white than black, but maybe not that heavy, especially with the irrigated farmlands. Maybe like 8. Maybe even like an 8-7 split with the Evolving Wilds that can save our bacon if we really need it to. Got the mountain there. I guess most of our white cards, most of our white combat tricks and the like, or most of our combat tricks are white. So there's a chance that we want to play that and like a creature in the same turn. So maybe we'll go 1 lighter on swamps. Okay, here's the plan, here's the deck. We're gonna hope to mice some games. This, again, is not what we hope for, but draft was a little bit sloppy, and I'm not sure we had an opportunity to do incredibly better. But here we are. I'll see you guys for match 1.